Good afternoon, YouTube viewers and subscribers. Been a while since I've done a video on the bench, but here we are again. So, an awesome friend and subscriber, John, who's provided me with many engines and given me plenty, has also done this yet again. He found an engine on eBay, purchased it, had it sent directly to me, and this is it. Let me zoom in a little bit here. This is a Cipolla 1.5cc Junior. An Italian-made engine. I believe this engine dates back to the early to mid 80s. And this is the first time I'm looking at it. I didn't show taking it out of the box because I really don't see that there's any value to that. But here's the engine. Now, one thing I notice about this is there's not a whole lot of information on these engines available on the web. I think I saw a couple of videos of these things, but I'm not sure if they were the RC version or not. So this is the RC version, and the carb barrel rotates. It's a little stiff. Needle valve seems to screw and unscrew very easily. Now, I can't really turn it over by hand, so I'm not going to do an inside look of this. I'm not going to disassemble this engine. What I want to try and do is I want to just try and free this up a little bit here first. So let's start by taking this glow plug out. Now, here's the plug. Not sure the origin of this plug, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to look down in there or not and see. It looks like we got part of the side of the piston there. So one of the things I did manage to find on this engine was I managed to find a printout of the manual. It's a PDF form. Hold it this way, the Junior CC 1.5. They do things a little bit differently in Italy. Anyway, what this manual recommends is it talks about setting up the needle valve and all that kind of stuff. But some of the interesting things are here is it recommends a 7 by 3.5 inch prop. Well, the closest I could come is a 7 by 4.5 inch prop. So that's what I'm going to be using on this engine. The other thing that's interesting here is it says the recommended standard fuel is 1 part castor oil, 4 parts methanol, so basically FAI fuel. And then it says contest fuel is 1 part castor oil, 1 part nitromethane, 3 parts methanol. So they're saying here that it doesn't say what percentage of nitromethane, but it looks like the primary standard fuel is FAI, so that's interesting. Now, I did not print out the parts. There was a parts document. I didn't print that out either, unfortunately, but I see here from the parts listing that things that should have been supplied or should have come with this engine originally would have been an original Cipolla Junior glow plug. So I have no idea if that plug I just took out was the original plug. I have a feeling it's not. And a silencer. So this engine did not come equipped with a silencer, but it's from the picture I saw, it's a kind of a two-piece strap-on type of thing, and I don't know if it had a pressure fitting or not. So this is actually one of the earlier model Cipolla 1.5 Junior engines, because later versions actually had a larger heatsink head. So this is a pretty early engine, but as I said, I couldn't turn this thing over by hand, so what I want to do here is I want to put this prop on here, fit this prop on here, and see if I can't get this thing to turn over. Now, I don't normally bring my heat gun in the house for safety reasons, but I figured I'll just be extremely careful, and I'm going to put some oil in this engine and just apply just a little bit of heat to see if we can free this thing up, because I don't really want to take it apart. I'd really rather just get it turning over and run it. So let me drop some oil in here. Of course, I could just as easily do that here. Just put a drop in the carb anyway, even though it already operates freely. And I don't know if I'm going to take that back plate off, but I mean, anything that's got a mechanical joint, I might as well put a little bit of oil there. And now we're just going to very lightly use my industrial strength Paladin heat gun here. Okay, so I've got this thing about 102, that's it. 116 maybe. Oh, and I can turn it over now. Okay, so it turns over now. I don't know if I'd say that spins freely, but it turns over. Is it too hot to hold? No, it's not too bad. So let's put this plug back in here and see what kind of compression we've got now that we've freed this engine up a little bit. It is pretty warm still, so yeah, that's still kind of warm. Okay, it's got compression. So let's zoom in a bit here and see if we can see anything else. The side of the piston. So obviously this engine has been run because it was gummed up. At least I'm assuming it's been run. The side of the piston doesn't look. I don't know if that freed anything up there or not. Let's just check. See if this glow plug that did come with it. We don't know if it's the original or not, but let's just check and see if this thing glows. Oh yeah, so that plug looks like it's in good shape. So theoretically now this engine should run. So that is a quick look at this Cipolla 1.5 Junior engine. Slide that thing back down. So some oil, a little heat. Probably going to put just a hair more oil there. There. Let that go down inside there. I would really like to try and take this back plate off if at all possible, so let me see if I've got something that I can use to maybe wrench on that.